I've always been interested in meteorology. Ever since I was very, very young. I had a fascination with almost anything in the sort of natural sciences. For example, ordnance survey maps, mountains and landscape, and astronomy too. But I think I was watching the weather forecast back at a time when they used to stick the magnetic symbols on the chart. And so what I did was I got old cereal boxes and drew a map of the country, and I got a bit of blue tack and cut out little cardboard symbols of rain and sunshine and stuck them up. When I think I was only about 4 or 5, and I started keeping a very basic weather diary from about that age too. I think one of the achievements I'm most proud of is becoming a lecturer and teaching meteorology. It wasn't easy to find a position such as that, and I always wanted to do it. It took some time before I achieved it, but I was recognized I received a teaching award voted by students as Lecturer of the Year, and that gave me the confirmation that I needed, that's what I wanted to do, and that I felt that I reached that achievement. I think I'm probably motivated by global scale events, and here I'm thinking things like the bravery of people, for example the abolitionists in the 19th century, the suffragettes at the turn of the 20th century, and leaders and global peacemakers, people like Nelson Mandela and so on. And they resonate deep within me, because these are people who, you know, they risked their own lives, and in many cases they did give up their lives to achieve a greater good for the whole of society and the whole of the world. And we have these freedoms today, and these things that we enjoy today because of them. There have been enormous changes in meteorology. For example, over the past 30 years or so, we've seen the birth and the dominance of numerical weather prediction, and now we're seeing the same thing happening again in AI and ML, machine learning. In terms of personnel, there have been huge changes too. Previously, meteorology was very much a male bastion, a relic from after the end of the Second World War. For example, the Met Office used to be part of the Ministry of Defence and so on. That's all changed now. Now it's hip, cool and trendy and woke. I joined RMetS a long time ago. In fact, if I tell you, you might be able to work out my age, but it was over 30 years ago when I was just a young fella. It was quite daunting, to be honest. It felt a little bit intimidating back then, but I loved weather. I had a fascination in weather so much that I felt, no, I have to do this. And the society has been just helped me terrifically over the decades, indeed, since then. The best thing is definitely the journal Weather, which of course we receive monthly. But there are lots and lots of other great things about RMetS. I'm thinking here, for example, all the many meetings that take place, talks, whether online, virtual meetings or in-person meetings, national events, annual AGM, and so on. So really, if you're wanting to pursue a career in meteorology, there are no shortage of opportunities, networking opportunities, professional opportunities. You can't put a foot wrong. Certainly. For example, when I was doing my PhD, I benefited from the student discount, which I think was a 50% off, and that continued for 3 years afterwards until I found my feet financially and was able to afford the full subscription rate. So certainly, from a subscription point of view, the society helped me enormously. The huge and wide range of a program of events, of which I used to go to many of the events as a student and as an early career researcher. These were very beneficial to me in terms of, for example, networking with my peers, in terms of asking for advice about work, about possible jobs, about publication and so on. So the society has helped me in enormous ways, and I've also made many friends along the way too. Cool. dynamic gender equality. Well, if the society don't mind me using the visual metaphor of a moving train, it's like a moving train where you have a super first class carriage, and then you also have a quiet carriage which is a library and you can read and study, and there's also a really nice buffet car with loads of food and it's, you know, loads of networking opportunities and friendly people and so on. And so there's something for everyone there, whether you're joining out of interest, fascination in the weather and the climate, or if you're joining for looking for professional opportunities, networking opportunities, you can't put a foot wrong.